are you all doing?
More energy,
Yeah,
guys.
can we have some more energy?
Anything there? How are you?
We want some more energy. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Harvard Pandyan.
And I'm Harvard Pandyan.
We're entrepreneurs, educators, and change makers, but I'm pretty sure all of you might already know us today. We were already here at the Ramakrishnan College of Engineering, I think in 2021. At that point of time, we did do a session on life skills. We also did a session about sustainable development goals. But today, it's amazing to be back and to perform an upskilling session on one of the most important topics of today. That is about artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, first of all, I would like to thank the Ramakrishnan College of Engineering, the HOD sir, principal sir, and the entire management team for providing us with this impactful opportunity to come here and perform this upskilling session on AI and ML. Now, this entire session about artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to be completely different and interactive. Now, what are we doing new in our approach? Well, in this approach, we have a presentation that we are going to display in a while. In this presentation, you are going to learn the fundamentals of AI. So it's not going to be anything too complicated. We're going to teach you the concepts on what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning is, and what deep learning is. Afterwards, we'll teach you how to apply these concepts into real life. That's the new approach. Because it's not just about learning the concept, it's not about just learning what AI is, but it's about applying artificial intelligence in the real world. And towards the end of our session, we have some projects that we would like all of you to do. These are a set of 5 hands-on projects. These are end-to-end ML projects that all of you can even do in this college. So towards the end of the session, we'll have some projects that we are also going to do. So how many of you are excited for this session? Just raise your hand. Okay, that's good.
Is everyone excited? Yes. I see some hands not up. Please, again, kind of quicker. Who's excited for today's session?
Please raise your hand.
Who thinks they're going to learn a lot in today's session? Alright, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Okay, before we start breakfast now on the job, where's the energy? Yes or no? Guys, we need more energy.
Then we need more energy.
How was breakfast? Breakfast now on the job. Wonderful. See, this is not going to be a one-way class. It's going to be a very interactive session. Even though Harvard said, okay, presentation, you can just watch it, no. We have lots of interactive quizzes. Any questions came home. I hope all of you are ready. But don't worry. Today we want to make sure that when all of you leave today's session, you will be innovators. Why are we studying artificial intelligence and machine learning? Let's start there. Yellow answer. Why are we studying? Why are you studying artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Do we have any answers? Please stage come on the basic. We want at least 2 or 3 volunteers for every question.
Guys, come tell us. Why are we studying artificial intelligence and machine learning?
I think all of you are already AI and ML students, so you should be a bit familiar with this field. Why do we need to study artificial intelligence? A very simple question.
Okay, what can we do with artificial intelligence and machine learning? What can we do?
We have some answers. What are the applications of artificial intelligence? What can we use it for? In which fields?
Can we use it in healthcare? Yes or no? Yes. Can we use it in education? Yes. Can we use it in transportation? Yes. So all of you know the applications and the different uses of AI and machine learning. But today we want to tell you it's very simple to understand if we learn from the fundamental concepts. Before that, I asked you guys, why do we study AI and ML? Now, let me go to the basics here. What is artificial intelligence? Maybe booklet or a definition in book. But to you, what is artificial intelligence? I want an answer. Please click on something there. I want you all to interact. What is artificial intelligence? You all are studying AI and machine learning. Quick. See, we've been to hundreds of colleges. Starting the Yarone Varmatanga, but towards the end we'll have hundreds of students. So please come up. Yes, please come up. I see someone. Okay, who's going to be the first person to come up? Who wants to be that leader? See, it's not just about technical skills. You can learn communication skills, you can learn confidence, your soft skills. That is what we are learning today as well. Yes? Would you like to come up? Ella, please? This is not just an AI and ML workshop. This is testing your confidence. Yes. What do you think is AI and machine learning? Can we have a mic, please?
It's making training machines to think and act like humans. It's training machines to do the work as of humans. To train machines to think and act like humans. I think it's artificial intelligence.
Amazing. Please, huge round of applause. It was not simple. Who has the same answer? Same answer in the chat? Then why don't you come up to stage? See, this is going to make the difference. All of you may have the technical skills. Everyone subject knowledge everyone technical skills but the difference is the person who expresses themselves. The person who comes to the stage. Today it's on a stage, tomorrow it will be an interview with someone else. How will you speak confidently when you start practicing right now? So I'll tell you now itself, today's session in our class money it's a discussion. You can ask us questions, we can ask you questions, but we want you to learn and express yourselves. So I started off with what is AI? We had a wonderful answer from a student. When you train a machine to think and act like a human. Artificial intelligence, the word artificial. Say, okay, what is artificial? Not real, right? Do you guys know the word simulated? Simulated, something that is created to replicate. It is fake, it's not real. So when I'm saying artificial intelligence, I am simulating intelligence. Just like the answer we got, we are training machines to think and act like humans by simulating this intelligence. Now, in the PPT, we're going to look at the difference between AI, ML, and deep learning. Okay, first question. Is AI and ML the same thing? Ready or not? Is that true? AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, are they the same thing? Yes or no? Okay, give me a yes one finger. Thank you. If yes. AI and ML are the same thing. Okay, all of you are aware. Raise your hand if you say AI and ML are different. Okay, none of you raise your hands. So what is the answer? I see some hands up the back. Please have applause for okay, wonderful. So AI and ML. A lot of people who don't study it, they tend to say, okay, artificial intelligence, machine learning, they're the way of the map. But that's not true. AI is something we call an umbrella term. Umbrella term na yavan theriyuma. Okay, what is an umbrella? Covers a large space. In AI, we have subfields. So subfields or specializations. So on a nice map over here, there is a nice diagram to understand. First, you have AI, which is your umbrella term. Inside AI is the second subfield. Exactly. You get the box? What's the next time? I got the answer from this side. So more participation coming from here. I want to see more from this side too. AI is the umbrella term. Within AI, we have machine learning. And we'll get to the differences between the two. Inside machine learning, there is another subfield, a specific subfield of AI. So I said artificial intelligence, machine learning, there's one more type of learning. Amazing, you all are experts, wonderful. I love the energy, I'm going to give you a huge round of applause. Deep learning. So now we understand the umbrella term. AI, then machine learning, and within machine learning we have a specialization called deep learning. So today today's workshop, we are going to be looking at the specifics of machine learning and deep learning. Alright, so since it's taking time, let's start with machine learning. Now, what do most of us do? Okay, we are studying AI and machine learning, get right into the algorithms, but we're not going to do that. Soft skills? Soft skills, Nayana, do you know? Yes, okay, name one soft skill. Louder, Satabasanda. Communication, wonderful. What other skills?
Wait, we have some other soft skills.
Great, amazing.
Yes.
Leadership is another soft skill. When you are going for an interview, even if it's a technical job, they will look for something called soft skills. So if I am interested in machine learning, how will you express yourselves to another person? Ungalora story share panadum. How will you do that? For example, I will say something like this. Ever since very young, I was very passionate about machine learning. Passionate na when you're very interested in something. I was very passionate about doing projects. How can you use soft skills? For example, I'm a very creative thinker. I was very passionate about the environment. So machine learning fetching or the environment project funding. These are examples of how you can showcase your soft skills. So now I quickly want 2 volunteers from this side and 2 volunteers from that side to please come up to the front. 10-second countdown. Please, you can nominate your friends. Yes, okay, please come up. Huge round of applause for the people who are coming up. Please come to the front. I would like 2 volunteers and we can have a few of the girls. Please come up. This is just going to be a very fun activity. It's going to help you increase your communication skills, your knowledge, and how you present yourself. See, do you agree? First impression is the best impression. Right. So we're going to teach you how to do that. Yes, quickly. 2 students from this side. Okay, count down from the month. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yes, huge round of applause. Only when I get to 3, we have people coming down. Alright, go finish this activity quickly.
Okay, so can we have the first person? Just introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about why you chose artificial intelligence and machine learning.
So you're at an interview and they're asking you, why did you choose to study artificial intelligence and machine learning? What do you want to do with it in the future? What will you say? Try to include soft skills and try to show your passion. Okay? You can have a piece now, English student piece now, but be confident. Are you guys ready?
Is everyone ready?
Alright.
Okay.
So hello, I'm Mohammed Area. So they're asking me why I choose AI. So like the future is AI/ML, right? So many of us choose this course because AI/ML is the future. So most of the courses like other CSE and IT may have competitions, but AI is the future. So I think most of the jobs that humans do now may be done by machines tomorrow. So that's why I chose AI.
Okay, first of all, can we have a round of applause?
Huge round of applause. So, when you said AI was the future, right? Now, you also need to mention, have you done any projects for fun in machine learning, AI? Projects fun in Cuba? Not yet. But are you interested in some particular project? Tell us what project you're interested in. For example, now AI is an interdisciplinary field. Just like Principal Sir had mentioned, it's not just learning the algorithm. You need to have knowledge in another field. For example, AI is used in agriculture these days. AI is used for education. We are using AI for education, including app and we're using AI to personalize education. So tell us about one field that you want to pursue in AI.
So I want to implement AI in gaming. So there's like normal people do gamings like in keyboards and joysticks. So I want to implement AI where we can recognize the games with a voice. So people with disability can enjoy games like us. So with voice recognition, we can move characters and ask us to run, fight, and etc. So that's my idea. I want to implement it.
That's good. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you. So we talked about gaming and how AI can be used to help people with disabilities or not normal people in order to play games. Now voice recognition, it actually has a lot of real world applications. You have voice recognition being used in almost every single field. Have everyone heard of voice assistants like Alexa and all those? All of those work on the basis of voice recognition. So that was a really good example that you mentioned.
So now, do all of you know his story, his passion, his interest? Ipo puriyuda? So this is how you help people understand who you are. Wonderful. Yes, our next student.
முகமது ஆரிஃப் செகண்ட் இயர் ஏஎம்எல். ஸோ எனக்கு வந்து மேக்ஸ்னால் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். மேக்ஸ் மட்டும் இல்லாமல் எனக்கு வந்து டீச்சிங்கும் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஸோ வந்து இப்போ வந்து நம்ம டீச்சர்ஸ் எல்லாமே டீச் பண்ணுறாங்க. பட் ஆனால் வந்து ஸோ நமக்கு எக்ஸாம் ப்ரெஷரு ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறதுனால நம்ம வந்து அதில் இருக்கிற நம்ம நாலேஜ் வந்து பெருசாக கற்றுக்க மாட்டோம். ஸோ ஏஐ யூஸ் பண்ணி நான் என்ன பண்ணேன்னா ஸோ அந்த டீச்சிங்கை அந்த விஷயத்தை நான் வந்து டெவலப் பண்ண நினைக்கிறேன். ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து பிடிச்ச மாதிரி அவங்களுக்கு ஏன் அந்த பிரச்சனை இருக்குன்றதை ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அதை நான் ஏஐ யூஸ் பண்ணி அந்த டீச்சிங் ஃபீல்டில் நான் டெவலப் பண்ணலான்னு இருக்கேன். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் எனக்கு மேக்ஸ் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஸோ வந்து மேக்ஸையும் ஏஐயும் நான் எப்படி இன்டெகிரேட் பண்ண முடியும்னு நான் வந்து ஸோ அதை பற்றி நான் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Wonderful. So
what was his passion? In the field passionate இருக்காங்க.
What field is he interested in?
Education. Teaching.
That's right.
So everyone will say, I'm interested in AI, ML, I am a good programmer. But what are you specifically interested in? What is your strength? Amazing, good job. Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Kamila Nikita.
So you can talk about what you're interested in artificial intelligence. In AI, what you're passionate about. Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
Actually, to be honest, I was preparing for actually. So, seriously, to be honest, I had no idea about AI. Like, it was my sister who told me, you go for this one. So,
What specific field in AI are you interested in? Or any application?
That's what it just interests me, and I would like to do more. I have to know more about it, so that I can do better things like many projects in the future. So.
Okay, thank you again. Round of applause.
Round of applause. It was confidence but that was wonderful. Also, she mentioned she was studying with NEET, and then you took up AI. AI in healthcare is such a huge field. How many of you have heard of brain-computer interface? Teriyuma? Lot of you know brain-computer interface. When you can record signals from the brain and decode it. For example, do you believe you can control a car with your mind? Yes or no? Maybe in the future.
Yes.
But you can already do it right now. Maybe not in full scale, through brain-computer interfaces. Now in a project right now, and it's actually with neuroscience and machine learning. So with the brain and machine learning. And what we're doing is brain signals. We can record these signals from the cortex of the brain, and we can decode them. For example, whenever I do a small action or even a thought, let's say I'm happy. And the emotion method, it stimulates so many signals in your brain. Now when I'm sad, different signals are stimulated. So in the signals editor, decode panna, you can build something called a decoder. Then use a machine learning algorithm to automatically decode. So then, when someone is sad, the algorithm will immediately tell you the emotion. Just one use case. But what in my research, what I'm using it for, is to help people with dysphagia, which is a problem with swallowing. So many useful applications in it. It's a very interdisciplinary field. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Alright, yes.
I'm Trichy, and I have no idea. எனக்கு எந்த ஒரு ஐடியாவும் இல்லை ஏஐ பற்றி. ஏன்னா நான் ஸ்டார்டிங் காலேஜ் வந்து ஜாயின் பண்ணுறப்போ எனக்கு ஏஐனா என்ன அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஐடியா சுத்தமாகவே இல்லை. இப்போவும் எனக்கு ஏஐனா ஓகே நம்ம வந்து ஒரு மிஷின் நம்ம ட்ரெயின் பண்ணி அதை நம்ம இது பண்ணுறோம், அது அவ்வளோதான் தெரியும். அது மற்றபடி எதுவும் தெரியாது. இப்போ வரைக்கும் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் எதுவும் நான் செய்யலை. ஆனால் எனக்கு மெடிக்கல் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு ரொம்ப ஆசை. ஸோ இப்போ ஏதாச்சும் கைட் பண்ணா மேபி நான் ட்ரை பண்ணுவேன். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you so much.
And yes, as I mentioned in medicine, machine learning is used for diagnostics, for screening diseases, and so many more. Okay, so finally we've got the PPT.
Sorry for the technical delay, but I think we are finally back now.
There are challenges to go, but we have to move faster. Okay, so let's begin. And alright, before that, how many of you have LinkedIn? LinkedIn social media platform?
Oh wow, all of you.
Okay, first of all, huge round of applause. Hello, kind of for having LinkedIn. It is such an amazing social networking platform. Why did I ask this question? How many of you post on LinkedIn? I see one hand.
One hand up.
Can we all give a huge round of applause? 3 hands up. Now, get started LinkedIn Youth Fundro to showcase your knowledge. If you want to be an expert in AI and machine learning, you need to showcase your knowledge. If you're doing a project on LinkedIn, then you separate fields in it. You can upload certificates, you can upload courses, you can upload project descriptions. Please, from today onwards, whatever project you do, whatever course you do, please update it on LinkedIn. Share your knowledge with the world. You see, today, Harpat and I are getting achievements funding group. But how did we get these opportunities? Even talking about opportunities for research, when you share your knowledge on LinkedIn, people will contact you. Okay, so comment for it. Yes, that's very good. Wonderful. You can follow us on LinkedIn at Harpita Pandya and Harpita Pandya.
As you mentioned, today's session is going to be completely interactive. And in the session, there are an area of quizzes into. We have a lot of quizzes after every section. And if you get the question right for the quiz, we have a special pen as a prize. Okay, so please be excited for that.
Please, prize, answer Panamika. We want you to actually be interested too.
We have a lot of topics that we are going to cover in this session. Now we want to connect the concepts that we learn in artificial intelligence to real-world applications. This is exactly why towards the end of our session, we are going to be focusing on 5 real-world projects. We have got real-life examples that include object detection, classification, and regression. For each of these projects, we'll show you the code and we'll walk you through each of the steps that we took for each project.
Can we go to the next slide, please?
We'll go to the next slide.
Okay, so we talked about what is AI at the start. We talked about the difference between AI, ML, and DL. AI on it, umbrella term. What comes inside? Machine learning. What comes under machine learning? Deep learning. And now we're going to go into the specifics. Alright, what is machine learning? Before you go straight into the algorithm, fundamentals for you. We need to understand how are we trying to simulate this intelligence in humans. To do that, ask yourselves this question. You have 10 seconds to think about this. How do we as humans learn? Now, learn I'll give you a simple task. How did you learn to tell the difference between a car, a truck, and a bus? Think about this, you have 10 seconds. After you finish thinking, please turn to the person next to you and so what you thought. Okay, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop thinking. Now, you have 10 seconds to tell the person next to you what you thought. Number yeti learn Pandra. How did you learn to tell the difference?
I don't see anyone turn to the next person.
Guys, turn to the next person. Yes, okay.
Yes.
10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop. That's it.
Did you guys discuss the answer or something else? Okay, great. How do humans learn? We learn through a few things. 2 main things, time and iteration. Iteration I know is repetition. For example, how did I learn to tell the difference between a car, bus, or truck? Through real-world observation. A real car, or even maybe when we were young, a toy car, a toy truck. Now, when we're trying to teach a machine to think like a human, what are we doing in machine learning? We are trying to impart learning in the process. The process of real-world observations, repeating over time, iterations. So here's a good example. We have a nice data set, we have different types of vehicles, cars, trucks, etc. So when we feed these data inputs into a machine learning module, it's going to do the same thing that we do as humans. It will observe them. What are the features? What does the shape look like? And it is going to learn those features. This is the process of learning in a machine learning model. It's not just an algorithm. And the algorithm, remember, it's the core part of the model. The first fundamental aspect of machine learning, what do you need for any machine learning project or AI project?
What do you need to feed into the model?
I got the correct answer. I will supplement some of you. Yes.
Data.
Machines learn just like humans. We are simulating intelligence. First, we must simulate data. Under machine learning, what we do, we feed real-world data into the modules, and we don't do explicit programming or rules. Now, that's the difference between a normal computer program and machine learning and AI. For a normal computer program editor, we can do simple if statements. For example, we can say, if the vehicle is long, it is a bus. If the vehicle is short, it is a car. Is it accurate? No. Why? Because there are so many different use cases. There are different shapes of cars, models of cars, different shapes of trucks. You cannot type in every single rule for each of these cases. That is why we needed artificial intelligence and machine learning. We needed these algorithms to learn by themselves. Alright, quickly, do you guys know what this is?
I think I've seen this before on any website.
What is this? I'm here
CAPTCHA.
to Yes, CAPTCHA. Do you guys know what Google is doing with this data? So when you go onto some website, they ask you to select the squares with traffic lights. But do you know what they're actually doing? Get a number. Yes, they're training their own models by having us do all the work. So here I am labeling the traffic lights. What am I doing? I'm feeding label data to Google. So there's different examples of how machine learning and AI is all around us. But what's the most important thing? Data. Data is the heart of our models.
Go to the next slide.
Yes, next slide.
Can go to the next slide.
Forward, please.
Next slide.
Let me go forward. Yes, stop.
Okay, so here we have a structure of an ML model. Now, later towards the session, we are going to talk about what a machine learning pipeline is. It will help you understand how to perform and make an end-to-end ML project. So here's a basic structure that we have for an ML model. And as we already discussed, the main thing or the most significant part of a machine learning model is the data. So once we provide the data, we need an ML algorithm to process that data. Machine learning can be used in any kind of field. And there are two types of tasks that we can do with machine learning. Does anyone know what classification is? Have you all heard of the word classification? Classification. When you put the items into categories, does anyone know what regression is? I'm pretty sure we would have all heard of regression in math. When you find the best correlation between an X value and a Y value. That's what regression is. So just like that, an ML model can be used in order to process data, and it can be used to get output depending on what project we can do. I'll give you guys an example for classification. If we want to classify data, label data, we have data that is labeled as a car, we have pictures of a bus that is labeled, and pictures of an airplane. When we feed that into a model, the ML algorithm, it is trained to recognize the features that are present in each of these pictures. Now we all know that pictures have unique features, right? There's something unique to a bus that makes it a bus. We have an airplane which has unique features. So the reason we're passing the data into the ML model is for the model to learn the features of each specific image, then we will get our desired output. This is just the basic structure of a machine learning model.
So when someone says the model is learning, it's learning these features. You can see a good example here, energy consumption. I want to build a model that will predict the energy consumption in my household. What data do I need for this? The number of people, the maybe past data, amount of electricity that's being used. and it takes time. These are the inputs, the data that you need. So whenever you design a machine learning project, there are three core parts to this. Your input, which is your data, your algorithm, which is going to process that data, and your output, which are going to be your predictions.
Okay, go to the next slide. Okay, now we come to the topic of deep learning. Now before we go into deep learning, I want to give an example of the difference between artificial intelligence and deep learning. We're all talking about artificial intelligence today, but AI or a brain in God. Does an artificial intelligence program have a brain of its own, or does it have a mind of its own? We all know we have the human brain. It tells us what to do. It's the human brain that allows us to make decisions. It tells us when to wake up in the morning, when to sleep, when to study. But does an AI program have a mind of its own? I want some answers.
Yes, no, what do you think?
Yes or no?
There's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer. If you think just the program, can it think on its own? Yes or no? Okay, we'll do a show of hands. Who thinks the answer is yes?
I could think of. Okay.
Okay?
How about no?
How about no?
So you guys don't say yes or no. What is the answer then?
Then what is the answer? You want all you say?
Yes or no? Do you think the program or the model has a brain of its own? Okay, some of you are saying no.
Some no. Can we have a show of hands? Who thinks it's no?
Okay, I see you
Okay.
from here.
Who thinks it's yes?
The rest of you say yes.
Yes.
That's by default.
Well, the answer is no. As for now, machine learning programs are made to simulate the human brain. And that's exactly what deep learning is doing. When you think of artificial intelligence programs, they can never be 100% accurate. Can you believe that a program cannot be 100% accurate? Is that true? Can a program be 100% accurate or not?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? We want more interaction. Yes or no? Very easy question. No, but why can't a program reach 100% accuracy? Do you have any reasons why?
Why can't we ever get 100%? We can get 90%, we can get 90.9%. Why not 100%?
Why not 100%? Okay, I'll make the question a little easier. Humans have some unique qualities that machines can't necessarily analyze or evaluate. What are those unique qualities that humans have?
Think about it. When you are a child, how do you tell the difference between a car and a bus? You might see two cars, two buses, and you tell the difference. And for a model to learn the same difference with 90% accuracy, you need to feed in thousands of images. And that's the gap between human intelligence and models. But what do we have that is unique to humans? I have some answers.
You have some answers, please. You can raise your hand and tell us the answer.
Emotions.
Emotions, that's right. You come across. So we have certain factors such as emotions. We have sentiment, which is again a type of emotion. Then we also have something called self-awareness. Now these are aspects that machines have to improve on in order to achieve 100% accuracy. But as we all know, the field of artificial intelligence is ever evolving. Maybe towards the future, we can come to a point where an AI program can think on its own. Now coming to the topic of deep learning. As we all know, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. But deep learning is a way more complex field than machine learning. It's used to perform more complex tasks with a lot of data. Deep learning uses a network called an artificial neural network. Now these networks are very similar to the human brain. We all know that the human brain has neurons, right? Does everyone know that?
How many of you agree? Human brains and neurons are good.
Please raise your hand.
Predictions are good. Alright, great.
Okay. Just like that, an artificial neural network also has neurons. And the data, instead of just passing through random layers, it passes through a layer of neurons. That's what deep learning is used to do. Deep learning also has a lot of other applications. It's used in NLP. Does anyone know what natural language processing is?
Natural language processing. Yeah, please shout out the answer.
I hear a few people saying yes. Just tell us an answer.
Speech recognition.
Speech recognition.
Fantastic. More answers.
More answers. We want more interaction.
What can I do with natural language processing? I heard something with emotion recognition. Okay, wonderful. Huge round of applause for the people who are interacting. You see, this is not a one-way class. We want you to learn more, and by the end of the session, we want you to leave with more knowledge. So ask questions and participate whenever you can.
If you know the answers to the questions, please feel free to tell it out loud.
And please, if you have a paper, a pen, a notebook, you can note down some of the things we are discussing. These can be amazing ideas for a future project. the future natural language processing project manager. So take these ideas down so you won't forget it.
Now, I'll also talk about a project that Arpita and I did with the topic of deep learning. Does everyone know what eutrophication is? I know it's a very long word. Has anyone heard of this?
Eutrophication?
Okay, so while traveling in a car or in a bus, have you ever seen water bodies, lakes, that have a green covering over them?
Yes, most of them.
Does anyone know what this green covering is? It's something called an algae. Now, this process of eutrophication is when these water bodies, they get overloaded with nutrients. We all know what phosphorus is, nitrogen, and these are all nutrients that go into water bodies and it overloads them, which causes the growth of algae and a lot of harmful consequences. So the project that Harvita and I have done is we developed a process where we use a deep learning network in order to classify images whether it's for the water body is full of eutrophication or not. Now, as for the data, we use something called remote sensing data, which is data from satellites. Have you all heard of data from satellites? Now, this data from satellites, we used it because it has a large scale. It's present on a large scale, and we can extract features to a large extent using this data. So this is just one application that you can use for deep learning. We did it on eutrophication, but all of you, if you're passionate about the environment or anything related to the environment, you can certainly use deep neural networks in order to do that. Is anyone interested in the environment? Is anyone interested in any project?
Hands up. So these are some ideas for you. You can use data from satellite imagery for remote sensing. This is real-time machine learning and artificial intelligence. Do you all know where to get satellite data from? Where? Not many people know that. So in today's workshop, we're not just going to tell you concepts. There are tools for the code. We're going to tell you the tools that you can use to process data, to get machine learning algorithms, and to also do your own projects. Because that's going to help you in the future. Alright, so we've talked about applications. Now do you all understand what is the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning? AI is the umbrella term. Machine learning, we have traditional algorithms that we use. But in deep learning, we don't use traditional algorithms. What do we use? Something with
Something called a network.
Exactly. Fantastic. Neural networks. That's the main difference between the three. Can we go to the next slide?
Can we quickly have an example of Netflix? Now, have you all heard of Netflix? It's a movie streaming company. Now, Netflix also uses the power of machine learning. They also use something called machine learning algorithms to give us personalized recommendations. How many of you use YouTube? I'll give an easier example. Do you all watch any video on YouTube?
Guys, don't lie. Please kindly if you do watch
Yes, it's completely okay. How many of you use YouTube?
I see some just get
Okay, now everyone's raising their hand. Okay. Now when you log into YouTube, you see a few videos, right, on a specific category. Let's just say you like sports, and you view a lot of videos on the recent matches. Now the next time when you come back to YouTube after a day or so, do you see the same sports video on your feed? Or any topic for that matter. You see videos on the same topic. That is done through the power of machine learning algorithms. Because it extracts your interests and things that you're interested in.
This is also there in Amazon, product recommendations, Myntra, e-commerce, retail. So when you think of artificial intelligence, it's not just robots. It's not, robotics is a separate field. You have so many programs that can be used in business, e-commerce, education. So we want you to think with an innovative mindset. In the ideas editor, you have so many different ideas for projects, for passion projects that you can do. Next slide, please.
We have another example here. As I mentioned in the morning, AI is predominantly being used in something called self-driving cars. Now, Tesla is a company that manufactures electric vehicles. They have something called the autopilot system, which allows the car to drive on its own with very little human intervention.
Alright, coming to the tools for machine learning. Now, how do we create a model? How do we process the data? And where can I find the code and the tools for this? What is the most widely used programming language for machine learning and artificial intelligence? Python, yes. So most of these, have you guys heard of these libraries before? Python, funny finger?
Have you used these libraries
Not many
before?
of you. But don't worry, because we want you to explore. So you can note these down if you don't know them. Quickly, we're going to go through. Python is the most used language for machine learning and AI. Why? Because most of the libraries and toolkits are developed in Python. What do I mean by a library? A library, it will have predefined functions. For example, I want to run a machine learning model. In Python, there are so many libraries, frameworks that you can use. There will be a model, and the model, you just have to train it. So you don't have to start from scratch, right? So we have TensorFlow. How many of you have heard of TensorFlow before? Not many?
We have one hand up.
One hand. Who is TensorFlow developed by? What company developed TensorFlow? Someone say Google. Huge round of applause. Hello, friends. Yes. TensorFlow is an open ML framework from Google. Why is it useful? Deep learning. Deep learning for library it's called Keras. If you think, how did we do our machine learning project with satellite data? We use the Keras library. So I want you guys to make notes of these tools. PyTorch, another framework. You have models, you have data training, data validation. In the tools editor, all you have to do is learn how to use it. You do not need to start from scratch. Next, I can learn as well. Next slide.
We have a few more tools that you can use for machine learning. To run Python code, you can use a wide variety of code editors. But one we mentioned here is called Jupyter Notebooks. Now you can take this name down because Jupyter Notebooks is very useful when you want to run code in certain blocks. So that's the specialty of Jupyter Notebooks. It has certain blocks that you can run in order to get the output. Jupyter Notebooks is the same platform that we use for a lot of our machine learning projects. We also have a lot of libraries that you can use in order to perform calculations, whether they're numerical or statistical calculations. You have pandas, which is again a Python library. You have NumPy, which is used to perform numerical calculations. And also something called math.lib. Has anyone heard of math.lib before? Okay.
Yes, a lot of hands
That's what I said, two hands up. What is math.lib used for?
Yes, wonderful.
Exactly, we have round of applause. You mentioned visualization, that's right. Math.lib gives you the power to create graphs in order to visualize your data.
This is really important. Now, how many of you run machine learning code or AI code on your laptop? Laptop and Anpanminga? What else do you use to run machine learning code?
What other device do you use?
Okay, some people use PC, laptop. With Jupyter Notebooks and Google Colabs, you can train very high intensity models. So you can have a cloud GPU, so you don't need to buy very expensive resources. In the framework section, in the tools section, you can develop machine learning models very easily. So please make a note of these and please explore them. These are going to help you create your own micro projects.
Okay, now we come to a very interesting part of today's session. We have many quizzes throughout the session. This is our first quiz. Now in this quiz, we have a set of 5 questions, and it's based on whatever we've learned so far. So if all of you understood what we've learned so far, does anyone have any idea of what we learned so far? A rough idea.
First, before we start, any questions before the quiz? In the middle of the quiz, questions take a muriyaga. Alright, so I think all of you are set.
Whoever answers the question right gets a special pen as a
So we
prize.
have a nice prize. So, but there's a catch. In the stage, answer so no. You can't sit there and tell us the answer. We want you to come up here, okay? So for each question, we have, let's say, 30 seconds per question. Quickly think of the answer in your head, and then we'll discuss. Are you guys ready?
Are you guys ready? Should we start?
I think more energy, maybe.
Maybe we have more energy.
Anna, yes, okay.
Okay, that's good. Let's start with the first question. How can we best describe machine learning?
So this is a multiple choice question. Quickly read through the
Quickly read
options.
through all the options.
Is it a subset of AI that focuses on creating robotics?
Is it the process of manually programming computers to perform tasks?
Teaching computers to learn from data and make predictions?
Or do you think it's D, which is a method for solving complex mathematical equations?
I quickly want one volunteer to come up from here, one volunteer to come up from here to tell us the answer.
We want 2 volunteers to come up and
Oh,
tell us
yes,
the answer.
yeah, so we have 1 and 2.
We have 2 volunteers.
Let's see if they get the right answer.
Answer C. Answer C.
Are we correct?
Is the answer right? Is it C?
Great.
Great job.
And we do have some pens, so
We do
no
have some
distribute
pens.
Pedro. Could we have someone please help us distribute the pens? Yes, please just distribute. Alright, so let's see, we are teaching computers to learn from data and make predictions. Why is it not A? It's not A because robotics multiplicator, like I mentioned. We have programs too. Yes,
Let's go to the next question. Right after that. Let's go to the next question. Deep learning is a subfield of ML that uses what? Is it A, simple neural networks with only one layer? Or B, rule-based systems exclusively? Complex neural networks with multiple hidden layers? Or you think it's D, data without any learning involved?
quick, you have 10 seconds. Same person cannot answer
So
again.
what you want here to come up?
Please, you want his yes, come up.
Yes, if you know the answer, please
What's
come
your
up.
volunteer, come up. Guys, this is a free prize for you. Very simple question. What is the difference between deep learning and ML? We discussed this.
Yes, we have one more volunteer. Come up, please.
Yes, what do you think is the answer?
Option C, complex network with multiple layers.
She thinks it's C. Anyone answers? Alright. Is the answer correct, audience?
Do we all think it's C?
Someone good?
Yes.
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 Amazing. Correct answer
Good
is
job.
C. Deep learning uses complex neural networks. These have multiple layers, whereas machine learning typically uses simple neural networks or traditional machine learning algorithms.
Let's move on to the next question. AI is commonly used in e-commerce for which purpose? Is it environmental conservation, stock trading, fraud detection, natural language processing, or product recommendation and personalization?
Very, very easy question. E-commerce.
Yes, please come up.
Yes, e-commerce, you think of Amazon, think of Myntra, think about other companies within India itself.
Yes, go ahead.
Option D.
Okay, we have option D.
Is option D correct?
Does everyone think option D is correct?
Yes, okay,
Yes.
give me a round of applause.
please. You received your very own pen.
It can be used for product recommendations and personalization.
Go to the next slide. Okay, which library should you use to create visual plots and graphs for data analysis? I think we mentioned this.
Which library do we use? Okay, I think all of you got the answer. Can we hear the answer?
Good answer.
Math.lib.
Great
Yes.
job.
So I think the pens will say here. It is math.lib and yes, next question.
Now, which subfield of AI is used to perform speech recognition? Is it supervised learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, or linear regression?
Now, speech recognition is a complex task. So what field of AI or machine learning or deep learning would we use here?
What can be used for more complex tasks?
Yes, okay, I get the answer from the whole auditorium now. B, okay, is B the correct answer? Yes, it is. Okay, wonderful. Alright, so that was quiz number 1. So just like that, we have multiple quizzes because we want to make sure you're actually learning. Alright, let's move on to the different types of ways we classify machine learning algorithms. Now we're in machine learning.